Okay guys, I'm going to do a video on starting one of these pressure tank Evinrude Johnson motors. And they made these from the mid 50s, I think up until about 59, where they switched over to fuel pumps. But what we're dealing with here, this is a 1957 Fisherman 5.5. And if you look here, when you buy one of these, this is what you want to look at. You want to look at if it has two prongs, or three prongs. I'll go over to my Yamaha, and it has two prongs. And these are called a single fuel line tank, and these are called a double fuel line tank. And what I mean by double is if you follow this back one here, it goes up here. It's going to be hard to see, but it goes into the block right in there, okay? And this hose on the far side goes right to the carburetor. And what these two hoses do is one delivers fuel to the carburetor, directly to the carburetor, not through a fuel pump. And this one pushes air back into the fuel tank. And this is what a old OMC pressure fuel tank looks like. Let me plug this in. So this is a connector. It's got three as well. So that's gonna go in there like that. And you want to make sure the lid is tight. And then this is your pumper. This is your primer bulb or pump. And what this does is it fills the system. This will pump. As I pump it, it pumps fuel right there up through the fuel line and fills the float bowl. So when the engine starts, everything's primed up. And then the air line will pump air back around the hose and into the tank, and it will pressurize this tank. And underneath here, you see all these screws is actually a rubber gasket that keeps all this pressure together. So this is called a double line, OMC double line, and they're really a pain. I don't like them, and I don't have many of these engines just because of it, but I mean, they are what they are. And then you go over to the more modern engines, and that has you would have your guide post and then your fuel intake, which goes to your fuel pump. And this is just a diaphragm that runs off the vacuum of the engine, and it keeps positive supply to the carburetor at all times when the carburetor needs it. So that's the difference. This one just has that bulb that you push, that you pump, and you basically are doing the same thing as that little pump right there, but it's just a one-time deal. Once you feed gas to the fuel pump with the vacuum action keeps the carburetor supplied. So without further ado, this usually takes about 6 pumps, and you'll feel it get hard where it won't want to pump anymore. And then you know the system's ready. And we'll close this up and we'll give it a start. This is a 5.5 horse Fisherman. That's its evil twin I'm working on. Double my trouble, as they say. Okay, so let me get you set up here so you can watch these. I never know if these old outboards are going to start, so it is a bit of a crapshoot. So bear with me. Okay, I got water in the bucket. Get it on start. It's in neutral. So right now, this line is pushing air back into the tank, and it's pressurizing the tank. And that pressure is pushing fuel back up this line to the carburetor. And whenever the float goes low enough where it opens the needle valve, the needle seat, it'll push fuel in, and the cycle continues. This is a nice little motor. I'll see how low it will go. So whenever motors idle this slow, you know they're healthy motors, because a motor with bad compression is not going to do this. It's going to be hard to start, and it's just not going to like to idle. I'll see how low I can go, maybe even lower. Well, that's it. So that is the Evinrude Johnson pressure tank. If you ever buy one of these, look for the 3, and if it has 3, you better ask the guy if it has a tank with it, because if it doesn't have a tank with it, you might as well not spend more than 20 bucks on it, because then you got to go find one of these things. And they have kits, and the kits, well, it's on the exhaust side, but just take, for example, it's a block off kit that you tap into. Well, I wish I could show you on the other side. Maybe I can. Oh, maybe on another video I'll show you how to do that. But it's a block off kit, and you have to buy a fuel pump on Amazon. But anyway, that should get you a good idea on how these things work. Thanks for watching, and soon I'm going to do a video of the evil twins out on the boat. So that should be fun to watch. So please subscribe if you like the videos. Thank you.